Hello, good morning, Namaste. I'm Dr. Rama Reddy Kari. I'm a psychiatrist practicing in Rajamahendravaram, a city in Andhra Pradesh of India. Today being Schizophrenia Awareness Day, which is conducted on March 24th every year. I'm going to give some details about schizophrenia for the awareness of general public and family members of the patients. You heard the word psycho so many times in many contexts. There are so many movies with the name Psycho and also some psycho fiction novels you might have read. Whenever we hear the word psycho, we feel somewhat jittery, somewhat horrified. But psycho means it is a contraction or a short word for psychosis. Psychosis is the word used for certain people, certain psychiatric patients who are having some problems, and because of the problems, they are not in touch with the reality. So, psychosis is almost a common condition which is seen by psychiatrists almost every day. But general public think that psychos are some people who come from, as if they come from some different planet, they behave. But psychosis is so common, and there are mainly certain psychoses like schizophrenia, mania, and organic brain syndromes, organic brain psychosis, including alcohol dependence or any substance abuse psychosis. I do not want to speak anything about mania or organic brain syndromes at all. But today, being Schizophrenia Awareness Day, I'll speak something about schizophrenia. Schizophrenia, the word sounds somewhat somewhat alien sound. Schizo means split like, and phreno means the mind like or personality like. Here, it's not akin to multiple personality. In multiple personality, it is something like the division having all the layers. When the cake is cut vertically, it will have all its layers, is it not? But here in schizophrenia, the schism occurs, the split occurs between different layers. And also, uh, for example, the thoughts do not go along with the emotions in a perfect coordinated way. And the emotions do not go perfectly along with the actions. And those do not go in accordance with the situations occurring in the environment. So schism occurs, split occurs between various elements, fragmentation occurs. So it is all hypothetical. Schizophrenia is not an uncommon condition. 1% of the population, they suffer from schizophrenia. And indeed, 1% of the population or 2% of the population suffer from psychosis of such a severe intensity that they require hospitalization. But somehow the people get on. Some people think that, okay, this man is an eccentric man, it's okay. So get away with the things. But sometimes when it goes into a wrong path, for example, the person started reacting to hallucinations in a violent way, then only the psychosis is projected in the public with a horrified manner. See certain incidents like a man with a gun uh, shot some 13 children or 30 people around. So why is it happening? Maybe responding to hallucinations or may have developed some delusions. Because of that one, he has acted that way. He is an ordinary man like us. Because of the illness, he developed that. Schizophrenia, why should it occur? And what the real reason, what the real cause behind it? Schizophrenia is mostly because of the genetic material which is inherited. And that is one way of looking at it. The second way is environmental factors. Maybe the stress associated with the life might have precipitated the psychosis in the form of a schizophrenia. So it is something like seed and soil. There should be a seed and there should be sufficient environment for it to germinate and come out. So things of that sort. See, if schizophrenia, if it is 1% in the population, its prevalence, among the families, 1 in 10 develop schizophrenia. That means if father or mother or brother is having schizophrenia, the chances for that person to get schizophrenia is 10%. That means 10 times more than the usual ordinary population. And it's not a dominant thing, one-to-one relationship. Every child of that father or mother get this sickness. No, no, not of that sort. It is multifactorial thing, and the gene gets inherited, but it may not express at all, and may get transmitted to the next generation. That's why among the children, they may escape, or one may get, or two may get. And those who carry the gene, their grandchildren, children or grandchildren and great grandchildren may develop that because of the gene which is getting passed on. And when the genetic material, the hereditary factor is coming from both the sides, from mother side and father side, then naturally the load will be high and there will be more chance for the person to get this illness. How do you say that it is totally genetical? It may be because of the upbringing. See certain things like, for example, twin studies, monozygous twins and heterozygous twins. These homozygous twins, that means both are similar, both are sharing the genetic material from the same zygote. The twins are separated in the first week of their life itself. One is reared here, the other is reared in some Ireland or some Scotland, where it was adapted to a Western family. After 18 years and 19 years, the chance of developing for this man to develop schizophrenia, if it is there, and the chance for the other sibling, other twin, to develop this one is almost 70 to 80%. That means, although the upbringing is totally different, the culture is totally different, even then, the chance of getting schizophrenia is high because of the genetic material. And sometimes we may not find the genetic history at all. Maybe that the gene is getting passed in a dormant way and it is getting expressed. Okay, it's familial, and sometimes even the stress also may precipitate this. How does it affect? Yes, it affects the brain. In the brain, biochemical changes occur. What biochemical changes? See, there are many hypotheses. The most predominant hypothesis which is accepted by everybody is the dopamine hypothesis. The D2 receptors, they start functioning erratically in an abnormally excessive way. So they get certain symptoms like hallucinations, delusions, thought disorders. So all these things they will be getting. So, okay, how is it possible that some biochemical error getting translated into this illness like, and but this illness is not manifested since the beginning? Here, I take analogy from diabetes. Father is a diabetic. He developed it at the age of some 40 or 50. This child was born to him at the age of 30. Then father was not a diabetic, but he has the gene. He has passed it to the son. The son, in his middle age, maybe at the age of 40 or 50 or 60, he developed diabetes because he's carrying a diabetic gene. Not because he ate so many sweets or so, he developed this one. Because of the genetic abnormality, his insulin metabolism has gone into some error, and that error is manifested in the form of diabetes. Similarly, here also the genes get translated into certain errors. I'll try to explain some of the symptoms. Hallucinations. These hallucinations are something like what normal people get as dreams. See, you are an intelligent person. You are a very logical thinker. But when you go into sleep, you go into, maybe you may be getting dreams of day-to-day life, ordinary dreams. But sometimes you get such a dream that the whole setting is totally alien to you. And things, there will not be any chronological order at all. A person who died long back, maybe your grandfather who died 20 years back, he starts appearing in the This one. Okay, my mind has gone to 2020 level. That's why, okay, the memories are. But the person whom you got friendship with yesterday only, with whom you got the acquaintance, that also appears in the dream in the same time. How can these two things in the time frame coincide? No logic at all. And sometimes it so happens that your grandfather would be asking you, "Eh, take me to Taj Mahal. I wanted to see Taj Mahal in Dhanavai, as if Taj Mahal is there in Dhanavai of Rajmahendravaram. Taj Mahal is there in Agra. How can it be there in Rajmahendravaram? Ah, okay, okay, okay. I'll take you, Tata, to Taj Mahal. And we started traveling. We started walking towards the so-called Taj Mahal. Then immediately people started shouting from various corners, water, water everywhere, ocean. What ocean? Ah, Bay of Bengal. Rajmahendravaram Sea. It's there at Kakinada or Vizag. At Rajahmundry, yes, we are going to get drowned. With the horror, we get up. Our heart is thumping with fear. Our grandfather is not there. Taj Mahal is not there. Ocean is not there. People are not shouting. But I totally so much involved that emotionally we lived with that one. That means so our mind, our brain has got the capacity to deceive us to enter into a different state of consciousness. Similarly, what happens is this man starts getting hallucinations. He hears voices, he sees visions, he gets the smells, he gets the taste, he gets the touches. Trump is daily speaking to me and he is instructing me to do this one, that one, and all. Modi ji has got all praise for me for the work I am doing. And today or tomorrow he'll be inviting me to join in the cabinet. God speaks always. God's voice I listen from the fan. Whenever I switch on the fan, I listen voice of Lord Srimanarayana, Jesus. What is this? For us, those are imaginary voices. But for him, those are real. Really, he hears those voices. Similarly, he sees the visions. So these hallucinations, when he's experiencing, he gets the emotions associated with that one, thoughts associated with that. He may get delusions also. Delusions means false beliefs which cannot be corrected with the logical argument and which are firm. The beliefs are false. The beliefs are firm and it cannot be corrected with the logical argument. He has a delusion that some film heroine, some Trisha is in love with him. What is this? How can Trisha be in love with you? She has not never seen you, is it not? No, 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 no. She always contacts me over phone. Show me this one. No, no, not this phone. We have got a divine phone. Things of that sort. We sometimes back one person from Andhra Pradesh only. He filed a case that he already married Priyanka Gandhi. That is a delusion. Delusions can be of any sort. Maybe delusions of reference. When two persons are talking about something, they are talking about me only. They are laughing. They are somewhat putting jokes on me. Some news item. Oh, this news item is related to me only. They are trying to do some harm to me. All the TV serials are they're made only to taunt. Paranoid delusions. Oh, that man, that neighborhood man is doing black magic against me. He will kill. Or somebody from Germany, they are sending some electronic waves to control my mind. They are controlling. They have got that machine with them. Or maybe delusions of infidelity, suspecting the fidelity of the wife. Why are you standing near the window? Huh? Why have you dressed so beautifully today? When you wore the blue sari, why that neighborhood man also wears the blue shirt only? Why the phone is always getting engaged these days? So this silly small things. He gets the fidelity suspicion about the wife's character, and it goes to such an extent that he may kill her and he may commit suicide even. Sometimes, many times we see the news. that suspecting the character of the wife and killing. So these are because of the delusions only. Sometimes the hallucinations will be so powerful that, some sadhus, they cut and offer their tongue to goddess Kanakadurga. Why have you done such a mad thing? No, no, Kanakadurga asking me to offer my tongue. She will replace with very fair divine tongue so that I can recite poetry like Kalidas or Shakespeare. Why have you killed this boy? Yes, my child only. I offered her to the goddess, and he's going to come back to the life within a few minutes. So this type of delusions, hallucinations mixed together, you'll be having. The logic suffers a lot. The logic will not see. Logic is something like this. Uh, Indira Gandhi is a Brahmin. Indira Gandhi was killed by a Sikh. Okay, both are fair statements. So Sikhs kill Brahmins. What an absurd, illogical statement that is. So similarly, here also you'll get all illogical deductions. And his thinking also doesn't go in an order. And there will be a lot of loosening. He starts with one topic, jumps onto another topic and all. Oh, coronavirus, But okay, don't worry, because African elephants, those are very strong. That's the reason why Putin is all saying like that. See, this particular carrots, carrots people say healthy, but not so healthy, I feel. The reason is cobalt and selenium. These things are related to sun. When we analyze the thing, there are so many ideas mixed up, jumbled up. There is no connection at all. So this type of illogical, fragmented thinking, and gradually he drifts down from his social status to. There are sub varieties of schizophrenia, like disorganized schizophrenia, in which the personality is somewhat affected and deterioration, laughing to self, talking to self, poor personal hygiene, and so on. Whereas in catatonic variety, the person may be enter into stupor or may get excited. Or sometimes he keep on doing some stereotypic acts like, what is your name? What is your name? From which place you come? From which place you come? He also does the same thing. Equally, ecopraxia, also perseveration, stereotypes, so many things. Paranoid variety is the most important variety. He looks so normal, so intelligent, having a lot of very good memory. Everything, his behavior is absolutely normal. He looks, unless he carefully look into his activities. Because of certain delusion, only he will be caught. Otherwise, he looks so normal. He has a delusion that so many, so many small creatures have infested on his. So many things are crawling. He picks up the imaginary and it's an imaginary insects. And where are the insects? You see these insects. Delusional parasitosis. Some people believe that there is a snake which is crawling into my head, and there is a frog inside here, and this snake is trying to catch that frog. Both are making horrible drama inside. So this is delusion. So delusions, many sorts, and I don't think I think I can explain all the things. I think so in separate videos I have already explained about various delusions. So these are all the positive symptoms of schizophrenia. Negative symptoms of schizophrenia is once the case becomes chronic, all the positive symptoms subside and the person becomes somewhat dull, not having any interest at all, lacks energy, apathetic, morose. What an energetic person he was, what a brilliant student he was. What is this? So slowly comes down to a vegetable like state. So that is, those are negatives. We don't use the word schizophrenia when certain duration is not there. For example, same symptoms of schizophrenia, duration is less than 1 month. Then we call it as acute psychosis. When the duration of same symptoms, but duration is more than 1 month but less than 6 months, it's called schizophrenia. And when the duration is more than 6 months, we call it as schizophrenia. And when the duration is more than 2 years, we call it as chronic schizophrenia. See, of course, the treatment would be same. For acute cases, naturally, with the lesser dose, things will be better. And for chronic cases, they may require higher doses, combinations. How do we treat? We treat the cases with antipsychotic medicines. Of course, ECTs were also given. These days, we are using ECTs somewhat less because of the legal problems, and also the negative attitude of some of the people, the stigma attached to the ECTs. So ECTs are becoming somewhat, they are less used during these days. Antipsychotics are the mainstay, and after the development of antipsychotics during the past 50 decades, or what 50, 70 decade, 70 years, sorry, 70 years, the change, that there is a lot of change in the scenario of the life of the schizophrenics. And after the advent of newer antipsychotics, the side effects are also very minimal, so that the life will be easy. How do we treat? Here in the medical field, the progress will be of three types. One type is there will be a cure for the psychosis. There will be a cure for the illness. The illness may be, for example, you take the illness like typhoid or malaria. There will be some course like an antibiotic to be given for a certain time. It is a fixed thing. And after using that one, the course is over and cure has occurred. Whereas certain illnesses are there for which there is no control at all, no treatment at all. However, there is an intermediate group. Is there a treatment? Yes, there is a treatment. By taking the treatment, the patient becomes well, almost becomes normal. Then is there a cure and can we discontinue the treatment? No. You have to continue the treatment. Why? Because we can manage and reduce the symptoms and we can make him happy, but one has to continue the medicines to maintain the normals. Example, diabetes, high BP, heart problems easily can be controlled, but have to continue the medicines, maybe for lifetime even. For schizophrenia also, if it is not a genetic one, if it is due to some stress, if it is a first episode, maybe after 6 months or 1 year, we can give a trial of discontinuation of medicines. After discontinuation, if he maintains normalcy, fine. But if he gets a relapse, second relapse, third relapse after discontinuation of medicines, or if there is any family history, naturally we have to continue the medicine. May not be the same doses, higher doses, but we have to reduce. We'll reduce to very minimum maintenance dose, which has to be continued for a length of time, maybe for lifetime. People will grumble, no, should I use this medicine or not? Because people with schizophrenia or psychosis, they will not be having insight. Whereas a diabetes person or hypertension person, they know that they have a problem and they have to use the medicine. They cooperate with the doctor. Whereas here, I don't have any problem. I'm such an intelligent person. I'm such an educated person. No, I don't think whatever I'm telling is truth only. You're not believing. So with this type of attitude, people would be there. So they try to discontinue the medicine. Here, what we advise is, you have to continue the medicine, but same medicine lifelong? No. Once in at least 3 months, you have to come to the doctor, because we have to monitor whether the same dose has to be continued, whether there are any side effects. So the whole thing we have to monitor and we'll be deciding. See, diabetes man, low sugar or high sugar, what dose to have. So similarly, the same thing happens. And here, people would ask whether the case requires hospital. Usually, we hospitalize the patient during the acute stage, so that we'll titrate the dose, how much he can tolerate, how much he requires and all. and after the titration is over, we send with the doses. And once he becomes very normal, and we try to reduce doses. We will keep three parameters for the recovery during the hospital stay. The first thing is whatever symptoms with which he has come, all the symptoms should subside and he should gain back his original personality. The second thing is the time he has come, he has no realization. He doesn't believe that he has a problem at all, and whatever he was experiencing, he was thinking that those are true. Now, just like coming out of the sleep and coming out of the dream, when we realize that the whole thing is an illusion, similarly here also, he should accept that he had a problem. Because of the problem only, he had those abnormal experiences. The third thing is positive attitude towards the medicines. See, here I would be uttering certain things like, see, not taking as if with the grumble, with a lot of disgust and grumbling taking. So one should take it as a divine prasadam. Prasadam, as you know, it is a divine thing offered to the God, and we take it with the utmost reverence. Is it not? So similarly, the medicine has to be taken like a divine gift one has to take. Then only he will be happy. He has to accept that it is a divine gift and it should be my part of my life. Are we not eating daily? Are we not drinking water daily? Are we not dressing daily? Similarly, some 3 or 4 pills or 2 pills or so, or even one pill, he has to take it regularly. So many people with diabetes are taking medicines. Why not schizophrenia people? They have to take. If they don't accept, every day will be a grumble for them, and every day he will be so much worried and with a lot of pressure in the pressure cooker, he would be grumbling. So this attitude has to be positive attitude one should get. So all these three things, when those have occurred, will discharge. So these are the criteria. 100% they should get. We insist on. Then regarding certain issues like, for example, marriage, people ask, can we marry this girl? Can we arrange for marriage for this girl? She's some 19 years or 20 years and okay, studied a degree and they are looking for the alliances. Usually the tendency is, because of the stigma associated with this one, they try to hide the things. If they hide the things, what happens is, she can't take medicines in the in-laws house. She discontinues the medicines and she may get a relapse there. When she gets a relapse, naturally there will be a lot of havoc and the people try to inquire the things, or sometimes if she takes the medicines, why my daughter-in-law is always taking some medicine? Somehow mother-in-law steals the one strip and shows to the family doctor. Family doctor says it is a psychotropic medicine used for some psychosis. Then she becomes insane and he comes and fights. Why should it occur at all? So we have to reveal. Before marriage, we have to reveal, because at the time of marriage, the patient should be sound in mind. That is one thing. Second thing is, we should disclose all the things. Otherwise, it's a fraud. So one has to disclose. Who will marry if we disclose her? We'll tell, okay, we'll tell, but we'll tell that for some small anxiety, she is taking medicine. Or for some stage fear or exam fear, she is taking medicine. Don't tell lies. You have to tell the truth. Otherwise, some other doctor will be telling for which these medicines are used. So then the problem can be solved easily. Don't go for distant marriages. Try to choose a person, a boy in the same village or in the same street. Your friend's son, very docile people, very, very gentle people, very affectionate people. Maybe social strata wise, they may be a bit low. Caste wise, don't bother about the caste. And they're such a friendly people and such a, people having such a affection that, oh, your daughter, you are giving to us. Such happiness they have got. So you can happily marry your daughter to that boy. That boy is such a nice man that even you can get some job for him, or you can get some business started by him. You can take care of them, their families, and try to select a family. Don't get your daughter married off or your son married off to blood relatives. They may see the children may inherit the things. The chance will be more. So get the boy from such a family where there is no family history of psycho, so that it gets washed out. Hmm? So that, see, from one side maybe disease gene, from other side healthy gene. So things will be clear for the children more, for the next generations. Well, and many issues will be there, like inheritance of property and giving evidence, their criminal liability. So many issues are there, but our time, because it should be sharp. One thing here I would like to say that only medicines, can we give counseling? See, counseling would be helpful when there are some conflicts, when the personality has got certain elements which have to be readjusted, or when there are some interpersonal strains, then the counseling will help. Here, counseling helps in a person with negative schizophrenia, lack of interest, lack of. So for that, counseling, supportive counseling would be helpful. Occupational therapy would be helpful. Yoga is known to produce good effects on chronic schizophrenia as an adjunct. So that can be tried. Regarding the medicines, unfortunately, very better thing is a psychiatrist, they give all, after all, sedative medicines, sleeping pills, sleeping pills. He gives sleeping pills, the patient is put into sleep. Aggression comes down. So this is the attitude people have. Very bad. See, psychopharmacology is such a great science that they study about the receptors and we keep on working on the molecules there, which molecule to use, etc. That's a big science. And we practice in such a way that the beneficial effects would be more, side effects would be less. We know modern medicine, English medicine will have a lot of side effects. Yes, because there will be a lot of list of side effects. If you go to the Google, you will get all the things. See, FDA doesn't give any approval for any medicine unless rigorously tried. So many phases, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, so many trials have to occur. Many years duration it takes. And among thousands of people, even one person says that after taking this medicine, I got dizziness. Oh, with olanzapine, dizziness can occur. And some two persons said headache. Maybe the headache may be for some reason. Oh, those people who can get, who take olanzapine can get headache. So they write down. I don't say that medicines don't have any side effects. Medicines would have side effects, will have side effects. But it is like a business. When we are getting 95% benefit, should we bother about 5%? See, that's why we will choose a doctor. Before choosing the doctor, you have to study carefully about him. What are his qualifications? How much he has studied? What is his knowledge level? Yes, very knowledgeable. What is his experience? Is he a novice, amateur? No, he has got sufficient experience. And okay, he has got experience and knowledge, but is he really a good person? No, no, no. He's such a man that he has got a corporate this one, and he drags inside and squeezes everything. Such a man, don't go. See, the best propaganda agent for any doctor is not the advertisement or not the paraphernalia. The satisfied customer is the best person who will spread the word. And when he has got lot of reputation, oh, he is said to be very good. See, hear about him, you will know he won't do any harm to you. So, can be problem. The problem is there will not be any problem with the villagers because they are so innocent that Dr. Garu means he is godlike. Put a namaskar to him and give the medicines. And very educated person also no problem. Some medicine professor, he brought his son. He knows about the medicine and all. He knows whatever he prescribes, they will have side effects and he knows how to come. No problem. But the problem is with the middle people, those who study degree or some software engineering, some people. because they have the habit of going into Google, search for this thing. Schizophrenia symptoms, what are those things? Olanzapine, what are the side effects? So they'll be scrutiny. The scrutiny in the scrutiny, no. So many side effects are there. How can you use this one? See, the only test between the doctor and patient relationship is the patient and family members. We do not know anything about this one. You are an expert. You know everything. Whatever the best suited for my son, give the treatment. Consider as if this boy is your son, you do this one. So that type of attitude should be there for the person. And the doctor also should be in such a position that, see, so many people, already 1,37,000 people have approached me for some help. 1,37,000 families are attached to my hospital and myself. So those are all my family members. These are all like my children. I don't give a different type of medicine for my child and a different type of medicine for this patient. All the patients are my children. So this type of attitude doctor should have. Whenever he prescribes something, if the same medicine were to be given to my son or daughter, would I give? No, I wouldn't give for my family member because he is a outsider. I think we can experiment this one. This is not the correct. The doctor should have the clean heart with him. Then once he has the clean heart, the patient also should come with clean heart, so that there will be very good relationship. In this relationship, okay, participation management also we can have. The doctor will be telling, see, there are two options of this one. Whether you decide this one or that one, both are equally good. So these things are there. So patient and relatives can be also given the hand. Many times the problem is patients do not listen to come for treatment. Of course, we have got Mental Health Care Act recently enacted, and we can take the help of the boards, mental health boards. Unfortunately, even after a year also, mental health boards are not formed in our state, and I hope boards will be formed so that they will be helpful for non-cooperative persons to get this. And this schizophrenia, one should not get afraid of this one, and one should not be taking it so lightly. It's a problem like any other problem, and it has got a solution. The best solution can be offered, and one has to cooperate, and one can have very good life after using the medication. One would really realize, oh, with this one I got this, and so many things would be there. For example, with olanzapine, weight gain would be there. If diabetes is there, it may get aggravated. So this type of things, doctor will be taking care of. Doctor will be understanding, and the doctor will be trying to rectify that one. And he will not be narrating so many things to the patient, because for informed consent one has to take. These days in the corona days, we have to follow the telemedicine principles. So, but the doctor has to be always say that this man trusted me. I should do the best for him. No harm should be done to this. So this way. And thank you very much for listening. And I hope the time you have spent on watching this video and listening to me would be of some help to you. All the best.